What is going on, guys? We are doing a WCW Pack likeness video for WWE 2K24. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at these wrestlers. I like doing these sometimes. I don't do them all the time, but I do them sometimes. And we're just going to take a look at these wrestlers. We're going to start off by looking at DDP. I think he might be the more popular guy on this in this DLC. Maybe him or Luger. I just like to take a look at these wrestlers to see how accurate they look, see how good they look, see if they look, just a closer look at them. You know what I mean? Like, we know they have their attire. I just want to see their. Yeah, I'd say that's a really good version. I'd say that's about as good as you're gonna get. That looks very detailed, very realistic. There's no complaining about that. I think they may have built him up slightly. I mean, he wasn't really a muscular dude. This dude here is not ripped, but you can see a little bit of muscle tone there. It's nothing crazy. I mean, it works for what they're trying to do, but I think his muscle tone was similar to that, but I think they kind of gave him a little bit of a bonus, just slightly. Because like I said, he was not really a muscular dude. That's not saying that this is a muscular character, but he's slightly muscular. I mean, I don't believe he was even slightly muscular, but that's definitely close enough. Now, speaking of that, we need to take a look at Lex Luger because he was a ripped dude anyway, right? Let's see if they overdid it. They probably didn't. I mean, wow, he's definitely super shredded. I mean, at one time, I think he was even involved in bodybuilding. So you definitely can't say something looks weird about his abdomen or something. Something about that attire. I don't know. This is kind of a funny choice of attire. I'm sure he wore that at some point, but I just think that looks a little bit crazy. Something to me seems slightly off. I think I don't know, something about the way his body's shaped. Maybe it has something to do with the. Now, I do know sometimes the texture of the clothes don't really look right. That doesn't. But this looks right. I mean, I think the abdomen is a little bit wide, maybe. But it's hard to say that they're exaggerating with his build because he was a super ripped dude anyway. I'd say that definitely looks just like him, for sure. But I kind of, yeah, not really nothing to complain about. I don't like that attire. I mean, I feel like he had different attires just like anyone else did, but I think that they probably, if I have something to complain about, I'll say that I feel like they should have went with a different attire. Out of all the different attires he had, I feel like this might not be the better option. I mean, look at this here. I don't even know what that is. That's his ring entrance. I mean, yeah, he wore that before, but yeah, that's it. That's all I got to complain about. Let's go to Mr. Perfect. And I'm not really complaining about it. I do think it's definitely good. They do really well with these. I know in some of the past games, some of the wrestlers looked at kind of messed up, but they're getting really good with this stuff. One thing that they've always had was bad hair texture, but these last couple of years, the hair texture's been like really kind of on point. I would say that's good enough. It isn't the best, and I'm talking about the hair texture specifically. That's definitely his face. I mean, I don't know if you can get better than that with him. I mean, he is spot on. Yeah, Kurt Hennig is very, very well off in this. I mean, that's a very good version of him. I I can't. There's nothing that I would complain about on this character. I mean, this is about as perfect as you're gonna get. No pun intended when I said perfect, but this is about as good as you're gonna get on replicating a wrestler and putting him in the game. I mean, that looks almost. That's probably. I'll say the word again. Perfect. But anyway, let's get out of there and let's go to the Great Muda. I don't know. He hasn't really been in these games. I don't remember him being in any of these games. I do remember him being like a wrestler that wasn't that muscular. That looks pretty much right on to what I can remember. I mean, of course, it was a long time ago when I seen this guy wrestle, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, there may have been multiple versions of Great Muda. I don't know if there was just one. I think there might have been different ones. I could be wrong, but I think there was other Great Mudas. I don't know if there was just one. Maybe there was. Maybe I'm thinking of a different wrestler, but some wrestlers have multiples. We're gonna go to the Iron Sheik now. Probably my least favorite. I don't really care about the Iron Sheik, okay? But okay. Yeah, they gave him a bonus on his muscles. I don't know if maybe he looked like that at his best peak time, but I know for the most part, Iron Sheik was not a muscular dude. Maybe he was at one time or something. I don't know, man. But it looks to me like he got a bonus on his build. And I understand people are gonna say, well, at the end of his career, of course, he was out of shape. Nah, I'm talking about even early in his career. I don't think he had a muscular build like this. And you could definitely see the the flab and whatnot, but with the shoulders, arms, and shit. I think this is definitely a little more muscular than what he really was. They did a good job with faces, though. That's definitely a good version of the Iron Sheik. When he got older, his legs were like really small, and his upper body was like really massive. Not muscular, but like flab. I mean, he did not age well at all. But this is a good enough version. I do think, again, his muscles are. He got a little bit of a bonus on his muscles. I don't believe he was ever this muscular at any point in his career. I could be wrong. I'd have to research and take a look. But anyway, this is your WCW Pack likeness video.